Enter. Enter. Islam. Peace, King. How you feeling? I'm well, not much. 444. Give me 2 bags. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. I just want 2. Just 2 right now. You know what? This is on me, man. Thanks. Yeah, this is for the family. All right? You got it. This is for you. Oh, man. Beautiful. Peace. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it's a healthy one right there. It got seeds in it. This one got seeds in it. It got seeds in it. It broke the scale. We need a whale scale now. Yes, sir, man. Yes, greetings. Peace, brother. Peace be unto you.
It's so magnetic. It was recognized as ultra. They weaponized the culture. They recognized the vultures. Blue pillar. It's so magnetic. TH3RD. It was recognized as ultra. They weaponized the culture. We went from Eugene Adams, searching for the blacks in China, to searching through these back pages for some black China, then some black vagina. We went from the UNIA and the black starliners to some black masons, black shiners, buying crack from the miners. Went from dapper damn black designers to some Gucci turtlenecks, black dog. We was moving on up, Sherman Helmsley. But the shooters ain't shooting on up. It's nightmares on Elm Street. Computers ain't booting on up. I'm dream chasing through the Jason months. As above, so below. We was adjacent once. Rethink your fears. They drink your tears. While you waking up for delinquent years, the distinctive years, crack pays, black rage, Beanie Siegel backstage, state property, crack cage, hell up in Harlem, the black plagues, Luke Cage, going through his crack rage, captured, bulletproof zombies, raptured, toothless blondies, carving a piece, ruthless Gandhi, starving for peace, no disguise for the vulture's eyes. Most survive, but they coaches die. Look at Scarface through Sosa's eyes. Approach the guys and get posterized. A drop in the acid, emulsified. All of your media is socialized. When they see us and they start acting goofy, we smacking koofies. They bad and bougie. I'm a timeless royal. Times of turmoil. Phyllis Thomas on Thomas Boyle. Flaxseed oil. Black winter boil. Color in the backstreet soil with orange coils. Read the loss attraction, I'm your course of action. If she look like Penny for a good time, I toss her Jackson. Me in the carbon is quantum and tangle. I'm dripping in carrots, the sponsors a jangle. If I had to decide to fade to Billy Gates, I say young chop his ass like Philly steak. Shit, I gave birth to a lady killer. Object of desire to Mercedes dealers. A hard pill they soon to swallow. Wherever I go, all these drones they soon to follow. I resisted the urge and persisted to purge. Protect the hood from the pecker wood. In my neck of woods, delectable Negroes say they neck is good. Protect the wood, protect his wood. 36 chambers, Inspector Deck was good. What's good, my nigga?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That there, my friends.
The other thing I like about StreamYard is that if there's ever a glitch in your internet connection, your stream isn't immediately terminated like it can be with other software.
Okay, now. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that right there is Sherman Hemsley off of the Red Summer album. Let me get you a copy. Right there. That's the Red Summer album. That is off of the Red Summer album. I'll be forgetting how fire that song is sometimes. I just have to play it and reminisce. One day I'm gonna bring Ross Ben on the show. Cause I gotta let Ross Ben break down the symbology in that video. That video got symbology in it. That video is a whole decoding right there. I don't know if y'all realize that shit or not, but that whole video is like, I'm at the gates of hell in Philadelphia. The statue that I'm on, all of that is a ritual. You know what I mean? But we'll let Ross Ben talk about it when we break down Rome and whatnot. So peace, love, and light to the family. It's Friday the 13th, right? Happy Friday the 13th to all of my serial killers out there. Salute. You know what I'm talking about? Love and light to the family. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Fridays. Third Eye Fridays. I know I owe you guys a show. I wasn't even going to do this show. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. But, you know, after some contemplation, I was like, let me tap in and whatnot. How does the microphone sound? Does it even sound like I'm on a microphone, or does the shit sound like I'm just talking? Because I listened to the playback from the other Melanin Mondays episode, and it didn't really seem like it was a microphone feed, if you understand what I'm saying. Shout out to everybody that was looking for me last night. You know, and I know how that is too, because there's shows that I anticipate coming on. Like I fucks with Urban X. There's a few other shows that are weekly. And when they don't come out, I'm like, I need my fix. And sometimes I feel cheated and whatnot. So I was getting a lot of inboxes on Instagram. They like, yo, what's up? You all right? Da 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 da. Where's the show? I'm like, not tonight. You know what I mean? I'll see you guys tomorrow. So do we need to decode Friday the 13th? I don't know. I'm not gonna decode it. You know, I don't, you know. Everything is not to be decoded, I guess. You know what I mean? Because we could decode Friday the 13th and then what? You know what I mean? Like, and then what? Niggas been decoding Valentine's Day, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, and a whole bunch of other Easter. And I mean, what has that done? What has that done? What has that changed? You know? So I'ma just let you niggas stick with Jason Voorhees when you hear Friday the 13th. You know, just roll with that. Fuck it. You know what I'm talking about? Just roll with that. You know what I mean? We gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. This is a good day. I remember when I hear Friday the 13th, what comes to mind is the last time there was, maybe not even the last time, but the Friday the 13th that I remember is March 13th of 2020, last year. And that was when, you know, this whole fiasco began that we're currently in. If you remember, they were talking about COVID or the jab, or wait, what do they call that? The pandemic, since like January or maybe late December. I was hearing about it. It took all the way up into March for people in mainland America to take it serious. And on March 13th, Donald Trump declared a state of emergency, right? On March 11th, I remember they canceled the NBA season. People started panicking and paying attention like, wait a minute, wait, what? Is this shit really serious? And then on the 13th, they declared the state of emergency, and that's when they started rolling out all of these mandates, stupid shit. And here we are. And to be honest with you, like I got off the phone today. I had to call my dad. I'm like, yo, let me call. You know, you just got to call your people, because sometimes We complain about shit. We get caught up in the you know, we get caught up in the matrix and we complain. Oh, my life isn't like this. I don't have this. I'm not this place. I'm not that place. But we don't take time to sit back and say, God damn it, my life is fucking great. You know what I mean? I am the epitome of success. I am the epitome of what a lot of people would like to be and have. And I have a wonderful existence. I have both of my parents still with me. I have family members on both sides that I love and that love me, and they're healthy. You feel me? Some of the funerals have slowed down because I used to frequent a lot of funeral parlors, burying people that I knew. And for the simple fact that we went through what is called a pandemic and where everybody was supposed to die, right? There was a Thanos snap. Everybody was allegedly, hold on a minute. Hold on. And just like that, that's how the ancestors work. My son just called me on FaceTime, just as I'm talking about family and being grateful that, you know, being grateful for the peace of mind that you do have. You feel me? Like sometimes we focus in on, you know, because they, like I said, it's there's a psyop taking place, and as a result of that psyop, psychological operation, people are beginning to quote unquote feel it. They don't ever feel no kind of way in your spirit or in your soul, or when you look at yourself in the mirror. If you're going through anxiety, if you're going through depression, if you're going through just feeling like you're walking on eggshells, don't blame yourself. Why? Because nigga, the government is out here drilling niggas and they playing games. There's propaganda campaigns taking place. There's billionaires after us. There's billionaires after us. You know what I'm talking about? There's billionaires trying to line us up. And they're playing games. They have us continue. Remember, think about it. Let's just think about the human psyche. You minding your business, you going about life, and then they're like, yo, there's a mystery killer out there. You're like, where? And they're like, you know, if you get the flu, nigga, it's over. You like, damn. And then they're like, yo, stay inside. You like, why? And they're like, because this mystery killer is indiscriminate. And if you breathe somebody's air, you could die, right? You have to have a strong mental fortitude, first of all, to not believe that shit, right? To not believe that shit. And then secondly, to pay attention to everything that's going around so you can assess the danger rather than having Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, or somebody on the goddamn news tell you about your life and you know how you live. I'm like, yo, I'm in the Bronx, nigga. Like, it's more to worry about than the fucking flu right now. Can I talk about the 2020 census and white fragility? Why, of course. You know I got to talk about that. And then you accept the fact that you're going to stay in the house. You say, you know what? I'm going to let them keep me in the house. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like I was saying before, for a native New Yorker, that's almost like a death sentence. They don't put New Yorkers on house arrest because the shit will never work. I don't, maybe they do it now, but back in the days when we was getting bailed out and stuff like that, niggas wasn't offering house arrest. You can't put a New York person on house arrest because we always outside. It doesn't, we're such, New Yorkers, we're pedestrians. We run the streets. We run the streets. We be outside, my nigga. I could never, because like prior to the lockdown, if I stayed in the house for 2 days straight, I either was going through some kind of depression or I didn't have a haircut. I don't know what it was, but nigga, I wasn't finna stay in the house for 2 days. That was not that I would feel I would go into depression if I was in the house for 2 days because I feel like I was missing something. Let's not even talking about the heydays of Harlem when it was super lit every day. I couldn't miss anything. I had to be there. I had to check in every day. I would never, the thought of me going inside, like if they would have locked us down in the middle of the 125th Street YouTube era, it would have been disastrous. You feel me? It would have been disastrous. But they pulled it off. They pulled it off. And niggas stayed home in New York City. And then New York City became ground fucking zero to the hoopla in the pandemic. Right? Became ground zero. Then, because I'm trying to jog your memories because so much has happened in a year and change and whatnot. Sometimes we tend to forget the levels that we were at, right? When it came to like the fear mongering, the fear of the unknown, the lockdown, the empty streets, the deserted highways, shit like that. We don't. I don't think people still remember shit like that, and they like, damn, I'm glad that's gone. But how could you be grounded during this psyops when they're playing this 3-card Monte type of game with you? They're playing hot potato with us. They're like, yo, you could go outside. No, you can't. Yo, take your mask off. Put it back on. Yo, you could fly anywhere you can. No, you can't. Yo, we're going to open up the city. No, we're not. I'm like, who the fuck is talking? You know what I'm talking about? Because whoever's talking sounds wild confused. I don't believe nothing that you niggas are saying. You know what I'm saying? What is it? You know what I'm talking about? What is it? The signals. The signals that are being sent through media, social media, and other places was just downright confusing. They were basically pulling us in multiple directions. Then there's all of this shit about we sending you money, we're gonna send you unemployment, we're gonna send you a check, we're gonna pacify you niggas, basically. We're gonna pacify you to stay home. Then fast forward to where we at now, they're like, yo, there's a variant. I started hearing about the Delta months ago. So there was always something lingering. There was always something lingering, right? On the horizon. There was always danger lingering somewhere. You better look both ways before you cross. And then look all around you. Look up and down. You know what I mean? Like, you still outside and whatnot. You coming back outside, but you still on kind of pins and needles because there's this looming danger, this hanging in the horizon. You're hearing rumors of it. You don't know. It's not that loud yet. The same way that it happened with the COVID when it first rolled out. There was rumors of some shit in China. I was hearing mumblings and little rumblings and whatnot, murmurs, but I wasn't paying it no mind, going about your life. Yeah, and then let's not forget the fact that I had a child on the way who was expected in March of last year, the same month that the lockdown started. At the end of March, the child was supposed to come. He came in April. You know what I mean? He came in April. So mentally, you gotta think about it. They're telling you, I'm reading reports that, if you decide to go to the hospital, have a hospital birth, the father's not allowed. They did that in New York City. They was not allowing fathers in the delivery room. What kind of crazy shit is this? You know what I'm talking about? What kind of craziness? Can you imagine, to fathers out there, fathers who's been there to deliver your seeds? Imagine somebody in a white coat telling you, my nigga, you can't come in the room. You can't even come in the hospital. That shit is crazy. But we didn't have to go through none of that. You know, everything worked out. You know what I'm talking about? Your boy was in the building. I was there. You know what I mean? I've been there for all of my children. And you know, it's just been it's you know, it's been an interesting year and change. You know, how could we expect everybody to be mentally together based off of what's taking place? Niggas was going through that Trump shit and all of the, you know, all of the shenanigans of the Trump administration, and that was one thing. Now we got the COVID and whatnot, and that's another thing. Now they like, yo, a new lockdown is basically on the way. I told y'all before, I said, when New York pulls the bullshit, right? When New York pulls the bullshit, watch LA follow, right? Because they're going to hit it from coast to coast. And then they're going to start doing everything in between. Sure enough, San Francisco just yesterday put out the same mandate that New York put out. Oh, you can't come into our gay bars. You can't come into our restaurants. You can't come into our movie theaters. You can't come chill with us in San Francisco. Okay, all right, bye, nigga. You don't talk about. And now Louisiana said it. It's a few other places. It's a few other places. New Orleans did that too. Yeah, New Orleans, right? New Orleans. I'm glad they didn't pull that off before the Essence Fest. There'd been a riot. New Orleans. You know? So I'm just being transparent. I'm just being honest with y'all. You know, I'm just being conversational with the fam. You know, mentally. And all of this stuff is going on in the background. If you're losing family and friends, right? I spoke to my dad. This nigga was like, yo, I was at a barbecue with the family last weekend. I'm like, what you mean? He was like, yeah, I was in Jersey with the fam. They said, what's up? I'm like, what you talking about? How didn't I get the invite? He was like, nigga, you're not vaccinated. I'm like, oh, shit. Look at this shit. Would you look at this shit? A nigga never been not invited to a family function. You don't talk about, they did that shit. They excluded me completely from the family function. Right? But these was all elders. So this is where the mental shit comes in, right? This is where the mental shit comes in. Now, don't say that they bogus. My pops is not bogus. My pops is in his 70s. You understand? My pops is in his 70s. Who he was going to visit, they in their 90s and shit. You know what I mean? There is from 90, 80, 70, 60. So this is where the issue comes in. Let's just say that I come waltzing in with my non-vaccinated ass, and anybody that was at that barbecue or picnic, whatever that gathering, happens to get sick and die in the next month. You know what I'm talking about? That shit will be on my consciousness. They would be like, he did it. My family members is not rolling around like KT the arch degree. They not spouting information like that. They're not fucking scientists. This is my dad's side. So in so many ways, I was like, I'm good. I'm glad I didn't go, because I don't need nobody. The way that the narrative have been twisted, the way that the government and the way that the media and the way that just outside has kind of tweaked the narrative. You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Yeah, I give my elders a pass. Like I said, I'm grateful. I wake up every morning. I look at my son. I'm grateful. I talk to my babies. I'm grateful. I call my family members. Yo, I gotta be grateful. It don't, you know what I mean? We'll get past the bullshit. You know what I mean? We'll get past the propaganda and we'll talk about it later on. I just have to be grateful, man. They got us in such a position right now that we not grateful for just waking up. We not grateful for the shit that they were, you know, because everybody is going through some shit. They taking away our grace and our favor. They're taking away the fact that we should be grateful for everything. Even if we experience loss, I'm still grateful. I'm still grateful. You know, the elders get a pass. You know, the elders get a pass. If they say you can't come around, bro, I tell my dad, bring a tablet wherever you go and FaceTime me. I'll holler at these niggas from afar. You know, even politics couldn't split us up. Nothing could ever have split my family up but the propaganda of this thing right here. This is, you know, it's somewhat caused a wedge. You know, and it's hard to tell people in their 70s and 80s to stop watching the news because what are they going to watch? They don't know how to navigate the internet. They're not subscribed to some of your favorite YouTubers or the YouTubians and whatnot. You know, where they going to get their information from? Your Twitter feed, the IG, where they going to go to IG? They're going to follow Rizza Islam. You know what I mean? They're locked in. They're locked in. There's nothing that you could do to stop their quote unquote habit. If they don't even know that they're being lied to, what the hell can I say at the end of the day? My hands is up. What can I say? I'm like, y'all don't see the propaganda. Y'all don't know that these people is lying. You don't see that they don't know what they're talking about. You don't see that they went from blaming us to blaming the vaccinated people. Y'all still not registering? No problem. You know, no problem. And then you be like, yo, I'ma just fuck with Tribe. And then Tribe is tripping. Tribe got too much time on their hands. You feel me? Tribe is mentally fucking unstable too. You know, and Tribe is turning on each other. Tribe is on the internet and on YouTube looking real stupid and crazy these days. There is no Tribe. You know what I mean? So, like I said on Monday's show, I didn't really get to finish the dialogue. Through circumstance, right? Out of our hands. Through circumstance, there was not even something that we, you know, it was predicted, but I don't think that we were ready for it. It was predicted, but I don't think we anticipated this shit to come the way that it has come. But now we're in a place where we have to say, I need to activate some of this shit that I've been learning over the years. And I need to identify by utilizing the art of discernment or a spiritual practice like a divination system or readings and stuff like that. Who the fuck can I fuck with? Who's healthy and who can I bring into my close inner circle? Who can I be around that's going to help benefit me in this war? Because there's a war going on outside and there's a war going on inside. No man is safe. No man is safe. So it's like, who am I going to align myself with? What organization has the reputation what organization maintains the integrity and the character for me to say, I'm finna join and I'm gonna sign my whole family up? No offense to anyone's organization or any organization that you may belong to, but I don't believe none of that shit that I see. You need more people. I don't see camaraderie. I see egos competing. I see niggas out there hummer stunting. I see niggas smiling and beguiling for the cameras. You know what I mean? I don't see it. I'm not magnetically drawn to nothing that niggas is throwing out there on the internet. And I apologize if I offend anybody. I'm not being facetious. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. I don't see anything, even among there's niggas with the financial shit. Oh, we popping, we popping, we fix your credit. I don't believe you niggas. I don't feel you. I don't feel that energy. I don't feel it. It looked like a bunch of niggas who wasn't popping for their whole life, and now they just, they in their late 30s, or they trying to get their shit together, and they trying to floss right now in 2021. And it's too late, nigga. It's too late. If you wasn't doing that when the locks was spitting the Benjamins, it's too late. Respectfully, yes, it's too late. It's too late. You doing it now? We supposed to be talking about land and acreage. Niggas supposed to be rolling out small towns and shit. It's too late. You niggas want to get me excited about wearing designer in 2021, nigga? Oh, I got matching Dior, everything. Nigga, it's too late. You look like a grown child. You don't talk about. We supposed to be on technology. Yo, I'm rolling out. I built a new blockchain. You know what I mean? I got my own coin, or that's the basics. That's the basics. These niggas still got us, having clothing. These niggas trying to be clothing horses. The spiritual community. Oh, come, brother. The spiritual community is gonna pray for you. I don't believe you niggas at all. I don't. My spirit, it gets the heebie-jeebies around certain spiritual people. I don't believe you niggas at all. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like a lot of these sisters is on some witch shit. A lot of these brothers is on some wannabe shamanistic shit. You know what I mean? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's a lot of deep, dark shit that's going on underneath shit that's on the surface. You know what I mean? A lot of shit going on that, my spirit just tells me stay far away from that. You feel me? That ain't it. I wouldn't leave my children with some of those people, so that ain't it. Then you look at the metaphysical occult community, no offense, but I'm like, where's I'm just calling out all of these different organizations and all of these different groups and all of this. And I'm like, we don't live in regular days and times. We live in a day and time where we should be preparing ourselves for something a little more, I'm looking for the word. I don't know. A little more solution based, It's just a lot. It'd be a lot of shit on my mind, man. It'd be a lot of shit on my mind. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, somebody said, don't cry, brother Pill. Nah, it's not even that deep. You know what I mean? Like, it really isn't that deep. But I do have a lot of things that be on my mind, and shit just be coming to me. And I promise you, I'm not gonna sit back and be quiet about how I see things, because fuck how I feel. I'm not gonna get on the internet and tell you how I feel, because that's meaningless. Fuck how I feel. Fuck how you feel too. It's not about your feelings. It's about what you know. And I know that it's a lot of bogus shit going on. I know that motherfuckers is mentally masturbating. I know motherfuckers is out here doing all kind of witchcraft, disguising it as spirituality. This I know. This I know. So once again, I would tell everybody, especially I feel responsible for anybody that passes through this platform, You know what I mean? On your way to other platforms, because I platform hop myself. I go to different platforms because I'm still on a hunt. I'm still searching. I'm still looking for something beneficial that's going to feed my brain, feed my soul and my spirit. But I would highly suggest you utilize what is known as the art of discernment. Utilize the art of discernment in all situations. You have to sit back. Don't jump feet first into anything. Just utilize the art of discernment. If your spirit tells you that it's okay, if you don't have all of these blockages coming up and popping up and red flags, then go for it, my nigga. Dive in. You know, dive in. But if you feeling the kind of, if something is telling you this ain't right or this is not for you, because remember, everything is not for everyone. It might not be for you, but it might be for somebody else. You feel me? It might work for somebody else. It just might not work for you. This thing, this internet, this social media era, you know, there's no filter system. So everything is just being flushed. Everything is just out there. We're in a deluge right now. We're in a deluge. So as a result of the deluge, meaning the flood, there's a flood of information. There's a flood of personalities. There's a flood of bad information. There's a flood of negative vibrations. There's just a flood. It's a deluge. It's like an oil spill. So as a result of that, you have to be cautious and you have to practice what is known as discernment, right? Yeah, he definitely was warning us 10 years ago. I could attest to that. You know, the whole, you know, like some crazy shit though. You know, and the shit that the community has allowed to persist while they turned the other cheek. It's just like, you know, I mean, but you know, what are you gonna do? There's no police. Niggas can't police other grown men and women out here. Like, what the fuck? You can't shame somebody out of the community. So what are you gonna do? You just gotta sit back and watch shit happen. All of these car crashes. You just gotta sit back and watch it happen and just pray that no car swerves in your lane. You know? Just pray that nothing swerves in your lane. So now we got that over with. I still didn't do roll call. Let me do roll call. Let me stick with the tradition and whatnot. I've been running my mouth and I didn't even do roll call. You know what I'm talking about? So I owe it to the family to get the roll call going. Baba, what up, Baba? Stop playing. All right, so we got North Carolina, and always North Carolina first. You know what I mean? Y'all never fail to pull up. Tennessee is in the building. Shout out to Tennessee. AZ in the building. Texas in the building. VA in the building. Canada in the building. You know what I'm talking about? East Flatbush in the building. Pull up. Chicago in the building. Springfield in the building. 215 in the building. Kansas City in the building. West Palm Beach, Chirac in the building, Fort Lauderdale, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Mobile, Alabama, Sacramento, Philly again, Knoxville, Tennessee, what's happening, St. Louis, Khalifa, Minnesota, all right, Long Beach. And I highly encourage, I don't encourage nobody trolling each other, but I encourage some hookups. If you see people that live in your state, you know, feel free to drop your email and conversate with these people. You know what I mean? I'm not advocating for Salt Lake City, Detroit, California, Windsor. I'm still advocating for people coming together. I'm still advocating for students to link up with other students so y'all can learn together and compare notes. East Africa in the building. You know what I mean? New Orleans, Greensboro, Dorchester, what's happening? Right? Brick City, 305, money is a major issue. QC. All right, Las Vegas, the Mondem across the pond, London, UK, in it, the Bruvs, Baton Rouge, AK Baruch, Dade County up in this thing, Hampton, yeah, the D, what up, though? Brother tapping in from Neptune. So this is what I encourage. I encourage the family to link up. I encourage study groups, right? Oh, yeah, the coordinates add up to 4-4. Interesting. I got to look into that. Canada, Raleigh, Albany. I encourage all of y'all, right? Because it's bigger than red pill. I'm just a bridge. I'm just a liaison. I'm just the glue, my niggas. It's bigger than me. You know what I'm talking about? It's really about every single individual that's out there. You know what I mean? We all live in our own movies. We are all controlling our own destinies. So if you see somebody that's in your city and you don't know who these people are, shoot them your email. Don't be creepy, right? Disclaimer, please. No creepy shit. No creepy shit, please. Respectfully. You could do that in other places, but you've never been on this platform and seen. I don't feel like I attract creepy. You know what I mean? I don't attract creepy. So I don't really even have to worry about that because I don't see people in this chat as anyone is creepy. But I just have to say it as a disclaimer because there are some vulnerable brothers and sisters, especially that's out there. They really only want the information. You feel me? They don't want your eggplant. You dig what I'm saying? They don't want you to come on. They don't want your dick pics and whatnot. They don't want you to press them and whatnot. And for the sisters, the brothers, they didn't ask you, for you to stalk them. You know what I'm talking about? I just have to put that out there because shit happens. But what I do encourage is some healthy communication. What I do encourage is some camaraderie. What I do encourage is brothers and sisters who have businesses and ventures and whatnot to link up with other brothers and sisters and get into doing some pop-ups. You feel me? Get into doing some study groups, some motherfucking book clubs, have you some watch parties. Because like I mentioned earlier, because of what's going on in society and we're being ostracized from our own family functions and stuff, things like that, I'm like, shit, well, it's a coordinated effort now to say, you know what? We have to fill a void. And what is the void going to be from right now going into the next year? The void is going to be people who are on the same vibrations as us, who think like us, who are in this motherfucking boat with us. They're going to be lonely. They're going to be ostracized. They might fall into depression. They might, you know what I mean? They might wind up joining a fucking cult or something just because they need somebody that's on the same frequency as them. You know what I mean? We might lose some people. So if you're gonna lose blood relatives, I'm like, why don't we gain, new people in our lives who we could talk to, who we could reason with, who we could build with, who we could fucking, sometimes emote to. I'm not saying to do it all of the time, but sometimes you need a shoulder to cry on. Sometimes you need somebody to get that fucking, you might have been going through it at the 9 to 5. They don't understand you. They're not on your frequency. You're learning more about them every day. You put on your They Live glasses. They look different to you now. These people look different to you than how they first looked when you signed up for the job. Now they looking a little different. Now you looking at them and you seeing things about them that you're like, I never really noticed that. But God damn it. You know what I mean? You look like a reptilian. You feel me? You look like a reptilian. And I'm going to keep my distance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be hanging out with you after work. You know what I mean? You look like you eat people. And sometimes we are blind. We have our blinders on and we can't see certain things. That's the power of information. What does information do? What is my purpose? What do I what why do I wake up every morning? You know what I'm talking about? What am I here to do? I'm here to disseminate pills in the form of information to help wake up and open up the eyes of people who are considered to be sleepy, right? That's my job. You know what I mean? That's my job. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not trying to overextend myself. I don't want to be you niggas' leader. You dig what I'm saying? I don't want to be nobody's boss. I just want to disseminate information and link up with people to say, yo, that information helped me out in one of my journeys. Oh, kudos, my nigga. You don't talk about sock it to my pocket. You know what I mean? So that's my job. We all have to find our purpose and fulfill our purpose. We all have to find our purpose and fulfill it. It's not really that hard. Once you sign up to some shit, you just stick with it. It's not going to be easy. Nobody ever said that it was, but chances are it may be rewarding in the future. I understand that I belong to a community that we don't have a reward system, we don't have a value system, and we don't have a penalty system. It's frustrating to even be, I mean, our race, black people is what they call us, right? But we know we're more than just that. But our race has our culture. Let's just say our culture, and our culture is what do they call that? It's multinational, right? You got Asians that rock with hip hop, Puerto Ricans, you know what I mean? Africans, African Americans, FBA, ADOS, ADORs, descendants of runaway slaves, all of that. But in our culture, they set up a reward system in our culture. This is what a reward system looks like. In our hip hop culture, they hold up gang culture, right? They hold up gang culture, right? They honor gang culture, and they honor, you know, drug culture, trapping and whatnot. So they you know, if you could prove that you really gang banging, my nigga, if you could prove that you really killing niggas, you would be rewarded in the culture. You know what I'm talking about? Especially if you're in the music game, they'll reward you. So we have to shift it to whereas brothers and sisters who are teaching and lifting their people up, they need to be rewarded. We need a value system. I'm all for social credit. The same thing that they're doing in China, I'm here for that. And we're headed in that direction anyway. What the fuck do you think being unvaccinated and not being able to go and eat at the restaurant? That's the beginning of a social credit system. Are you serious? Nigga, that's social credit. It's just without the name. And so they got a social credit system in China. If the government deems you to be not with the communist program, you can't get on the flights. You can't eat at certain restaurants. So what the hell do you think this new thing is that New York just announced and then San Francisco followed up and then New Orleans? Nigga, that is called social credit. That is part of the social credit system. You won't be able to fly. You won't be able to eat certain food. You won't be able to go certain places. Nigga, that's social credit. But the way that I'm looking at social credit and the way that it could function, the functionality that I'm looking at, they will benefit those of us who've put in, whose credit is A1 in the hood and whose credit is A1 in our communities and whatnot. You know, social credit belongs to a value system and a reward system. It's basically saying if you play by the rules, you'll be rewarded. There's perks to play by the rules. If you play by the rules, we're gonna take care of you, my nigga. If you play by the rules, you're gonna excel in society. If you play by the rules, we're gonna hold you up in society. We're gonna make sure you get ahead of these degenerates and these people that don't play by the rule. Never again will we allow these people to be quote unquote the pinnacle, or we won't allow them to be on the hierarchical pyramid. They won't be the capstone. They won't be the capstone. And that's what's taking place in so many ways, in subtle ways, and subtleties, and blatantly in your face. They are creating what is known as the social credit system. I'm going to cover that in a lecture coming up on Thursday called When in Rome. I will show you how they're implementing the credit system. I'm going to compare it to what China already rolled out and what they got going on over here. So my whole thing is, in this community, imagine if we had a credit system to whereas if you were doing good by your people, if you were doing good in your community, if you were doing good by the youth and whatnot, you were actively advocating and working and doing shit like community service and teaching the babies like regular teachers in the credit system that I look forward to. The teachers would be, you know, they would be up there. They would be, you know, their star would be up there. You know, they you know, they would be treated like dignitaries in this community because they're very important. Because like I said earlier, consciousness raises awareness. Raising awareness can save your life. Raising your awareness can save, it is a life-saving quality, right? Being able to open up your eyes and allow you to discern, being able to have to afford you a perspective of things around you that you did not have before is a fucking superpower. Do you understand? Yes, and even what you see with the censorship that is taking place, is only showing you, it is a telltale sign that we are slowly moving into what is known as a social credit system. You might not even be able to have a Twitter account. You might not be able to have, look at what PayPal did with the ADL. PayPal, right, which is a private company that is owned by Peter Thiel, and you know how I feel about Peter Thiel. And if you don't know how I feel about him, look at my face. Yeah, Peter Thiel, he's a piece of work right there. His company links up with the ADL. The ADL, the interest of the ADL is towards the Zionists and no one else, right? They got together and said, if they said, you know what, we're going to identify people who are utilizing hate speech and all kind of negative rhetoric, right? They could go after the baby. These niggas that at the end of the day, based off of what the baby said about the LBGT community, if they wanted to, they could make the baby the first victim of the ADL and PayPal's campaign and say that PayPal is no longer doing business with the baby because of his hate. Nigga, that's social credit right there. Are you serious? That's almost like fucking communism in a sense. Do you see what's going on? They could freeze your bread up. You already know PayPal is a work of art in the first place. They be hating on black entrepreneurs from the gate. They could destroy, they could remove you. They could, if you get deplatformed, they'll remove you from PayPal ever doing business with you and all affiliates of PayPal. Nigga, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a trade embargo. They doing you like they did Cuba. They doing you. You know what I'm talking about? They doing you like they did Haiti. These are embargoes. So there's many things formulating all around us. And the cherry on the top is the vaccine passports. That's it right there. That's it right there. Because what you gonna say if they tell you you need a 7th booster shot? You went and got the 2 jabs. You went and got the 2 jabs. Now you're on your 7th booster shot. Then what? You know what I'm talking about? Then what? There's no getting out. There's no getting out of it after that. You're tied in for life. You're tied in for life. There's where What are you gonna do once you accept the passport? What are you finna do? They're rolling out the booster jabs. That's coming next. More variants than they have strains of weed. Go and watch Toxic Avenger. Classic movie, Toxic Avenger. If you could find it, go watch that. You know, go watch that. But on the flip side of what I'm describing, I'm also advocating, you know, a reward system and a value system and a penalty system. And I'm saying a reward system to reward the brothers and sisters that are really out there doing something. A reward system for the people who have kept us abreast to real news from the beginning of this quote unquote pandemic. They need to be rewarded. And the public needs to see them. They need 40 racks when they walk through. Shit like that. They need to get 40 bands when they walk through. I'm doing a walkthrough through the through 125th Street. But pay that man. You know what I mean? The same way that you niggas pay Lil Wayne and Pooh Shiesty to walk through. Why you not paying, you know, the people who are really putting in the work, the people that are really saving lives? You know what I'm saying? Are these niggas lifesavers? Are they saving lives? Or are they putting lives at risk? You know? We have some, we gotta, you know, I'm looking at the chat room and, you know, there's a lot of people who could relate to some of the craziness. And a lot of people have stories about family members, you know, getting the jab and getting sick after that. You know what I mean? I had a few family members I could relate, you know, but I'm here to let you know, ultimately, there's nothing to worry about at all. A lot of this shit is mental. Not to say that there is something out there. And there was always something out there. Man and woman been getting sick. We've been eating dead carcasses that were fucking infested. There's always been pathogens and all kind of shit in the air. You know what I mean? Your Johnson and Johnson's baby powder that you was putting on your testicles, nigga, that was giving you cancer. Your deodorant was giving you cancer. The fluoride was fucking you up. You know what I'm talking about? There's nothing to be worried about. Our bodies are strong. But what we need to make sure we fortify is our minds. All is mental. If our minds are not fortified, we could weaken our immune system. The way that they going heavy in the media right now, the propaganda campaign, they turned it up a notch. They want to shatter our quote unquote collective aura and put us in a fear paradigm. They want to put people who we love against us. You feel me? They want a war inside of the household. You dig what I'm saying? They want us to be uncomfortable and they want us to be stressed. And when you get into that state, then you could get sick. So I'm really here to let the family know, you know, brush that shit off your shoulders. Pay attention to the debauchery that you see taking place in society and know that this shit has fallen. I'm sorry to say it like that, but how many signs do you need to see? I'm not a biblical person. I don't put my nose is not in the book like that, so I can't sit here and quote all of these quote unquote chapters to you. You feel me? But what I do know and what I can tell you and what I can attest to is that, you know, Rome is falling, fam, at a fast pace. You can't go back to you can't unsee the shit that you saw over the past few months. You can't unhear the shit that you heard. You can't unsee it after going through 4 years of Trump. You can't unsee that. This shit is falling. After you saw January 6th, these motherfuckers, White Walkers climbing up the Capitol. This is a fallen empire. The fact that you got billionaires and the whole medical profession, big pharma, they out here gunning to body niggas. This is a fallen empire. You could try to prop it up all you want. You niggas could pledge allegiance to it, and you could believe in it all you want. None of your belief is going to help. This shit is folding before your very eyes. When I walk the streets of Harlem, I see Harlem as a fallen community. No offense to anybody in Harlem. I love Harlem, and I love the residents of Harlem. I love the spirit of Harlem. But I'm going to call it like I see it. It has fallen. It has. But when things fall, things rise up. So I could come with the doom and gloom, but I could also say, I see, I see risings. I see some things rising up. I see the people who are really about this shit rise up, and I see the true adherents to whatever the fuck that they say that they about. I see them. I could spot them in the crowd easier now because it's a lot harder to pump fake this shit. You feel me? It's a lot harder to pump fake this shit. Angel, you in Puerto Rico? My nigga. Did you move out there? You just visiting? You know, it's making it harder to really to be a hummer stunner and to just wear the clothing of consciousness. What the spirits are mandating and what the ancestors are putting into place is that they're gonna push us into a corner, or they're gonna remove us and put us in a place where we're gonna be really it's there now, it's here now. You're just gonna be forced to be about what you say that you about. You can't fake your way through this at the end of the day. And you should not want to fake it. So if you was ready for this shit, if you was prepared to be off of the grid, if you was prepared to not go to their clubs and not frequent their restaurants to eat their foods and not watch their movies and not be a part of their quote unquote matrix, well, goddamn it, it's time to prepare Zion, because that's where we're heading. That's what all signs are looking like it's showing. I could be wrong. I could be completely off of my fucking noodles right now. I could have called it completely wrong. I could lose this bet. But the way that it's looking based off of the stats is beginning to look like Zion that you saw. Let me quote unquote, let me put it into context. I'm speaking about the movie The Matrix, right? I'm speaking about the movie The Matrix. And in the movie The Matrix, think about and this is the Matrix #1, the first Matrix, right? Think about what it is that you were being shown in the Matrix, right? You had Morpheus, Neo, Trinity, and a few other people in Zion. What was Zion? Zion was the underground. Zion was off the grid. Zion was not the big city, right? They were eating burlap. I mean, they were eating fucking, they were wearing burlap in Zion, meaning that they wasn't worrying about their designer and all of this stupid shit. They wasn't out there being all prissy and whatnot. And don't let me talk crazy about designer, because nigga, I will pull up one day in designer. You know what I mean? Like, don't put that above me. You don't talk about, like, don't put it above me, nigga. I will pop out with some Dior shit one day, just because I want to. But remember when Neo and them went into the Matrix, they was fresh to death. They had designer on. They was hopping out of foreigns. You know what I mean? They was clean, right? When they went to go and see the Merovingian in them, that nigga was clean. Because when you are in the Matrix, it's like theater, right? You're playing a part. It's almost like you're in a movie. When I go outside, my nigga, to the Matrix, oh, I'm in the movie. I already know I'm in the movie. And I could feel Agent Smith all around me. So in the Matrix, when they were in Zion, you remember they had the party and they was all dancing and they was, you know, they was grooving and whatnot. And then Morpheus was making his speech. And then everybody in Zion was unplugged. Everybody in Zion's third eye was open. Everybody in Zion was vibrating towards a Zion frequency. Everybody in Zion gave up the trappings of what is known as the illusion, the matrix. Remember, matrix stands for illusion, right? It's the illusion. Also, it's the mother, but it's the illusion. It's the illusionary world. It's the lights and the camera, right? Remember, in the light is where the illusion takes place. In the darkness is where you can find the true shit. Truth comes out in the dark. You're not going to see too many illusions in the darkness, right? But the illusion, like in Hollywood, lights, cameras, action. That's why in the Hollywood movie, the most important thing is the lights. That's where the illusion, even in the daytime, in the sun, in the daytime, there's an illusion. At night, not so much, right? People tend to be more open at night. People tend to show their true face at night. People tend to be a little more, revealing under the moonlight. Oh, in the daytime, when the sun is out, the niggas is stunting. You know, it's a show. It's the illusion. So in the Matrix, the inhabitants of Zion, whenever they went into the quote unquote Matrix, the Matrix metaverse or the Matrix world, they had to prepare themselves. And then when they went into the Matrix to do the work, right? They were going into the Matrix to do some work, go and see the Oracle, go and extract somebody and, and bring them into Zion, right? Symbolically, that could mean I'm going to a lecture. I'm going to link up with somebody who wants a consultation. I'm going to meet someone who I want to drop some real fucking heavy ass information on them. And I'm going to give them a red pill and give them the choice. Look, you can accept this or you can stay right here. So when they were going to the Matrix, they had to move wisely. Why? Because everybody that was looking at them began to turn into Agent Smith. Agent Smith was on their tail. Agent Smith was on their backs. So in this reality that we find ourselves in now, you might go into the corporate America, or you might go into any place where they say that unvaccinated people are not welcome, and then they have conditioned the average man, the average person, family members to become Agent Smith. Motherfucker turn into Agent Smith for you. Did you get your vaccine yet? Are you clean? Where's your COVID card? Did you get your booster shot? Is your child vaccinated? Because that's when you're gonna see shit really turn up. When they start coming after these babies. So the Matrix in 2021, unfortunately, has become the real world that we live in. Zion is like an African country or somewhere on the islands where they're not pressing you, right? Zion is like Tulum and shit. Zion is like off the grid. Zion is a campground. You know what I mean? Zion is somebody owning acres or an estate, right? Outside of a city and whatnot. Zion is like, places like in Atlanta, how they had the West End and the spiritualists and the healers were all there at Wadada and other places. And we didn't have to wear no mask and nobody was vibrating on a fear vibration and everybody was basically helping each other. That's Zion. That's the Zion environment. The Matrix is where these niggas congregate. The Matrix is outside. The Matrix is the mall. corporate America, definitely the hospitals. And then, like I said, it's to the point now where if you don't wear the mask, you are Neo in the Matrix, and the people with the mask become Agent Smith, and they like, yo, put your mask on. You see the videos when people is in the airports fighting. You see the video when people in the airport scrapping. You see the videos when people are in like public places like Best Buy or Home Depot and Dollar Family Dollar, and they're assaulting people and running them out. Yo, you don't have a mask on. Get out of here. That's Agent Smith activity. You an agent of the state now. You feel me? You an agent of the state now because that's what they've turned it into. We are all on one frequency. We are on the delta frequency, not us, but the agents. The people are on the delta frequency, and the delta frequency is basically you sleepwalking. You know? And although it hurts because it may be loved ones, you know, although it hurts, although it may be like, God damn, you may be, you know, you just may be one of those moments where it's like, I never thought that, you know, I would be here, but we here, you know, we here, we are here. And I'm here to say, don't hold it against none of your loved ones. The same way that when you was on that vegan shit and they wasn't on it, the same way that when you was on that spiritual shit and they was on religion, the same way that you was on raw food and they was still on cannibalism, or you know, they were being quote unquote carnivores. The same way you was on I'm not black and they was on a black shit. You know, we've been here before. We've been here before. You know what I'm saying? We've been here before. So don't allow this to put you in a place where you haven't been when you've already been here. It's just different extremes. It's so this shit is like a video game. This is like level 7 right now. You know, this is like level 7. Don't ostracize, curse out, throw away, get nasty with, cancel, or shit on any of your relatives who are underneath the Delta spell and who are moving like Agent Smith. At this moment, I'm pleading with y'all. Everybody's case is unique. You feel me? It's you know, it could get crazy out here, but I'm just saying, be the bigger person in that situation and understand that these people are underneath a spell that you're not underneath. You know what I mean? But I don't, you know, I'm not choosing violence. You feel me? I'm not choosing violence. I'm not gonna hold nothing against nobody. I'm not wishing bad. I'm not saying I wish that they get sick so I could look better. That's ego talking. You don't need that. That's ego talking. You don't need that. You don't need to make somebody feel bad because they making you feel bad. You should prepare yourself for whatever the fuck comes as a result of the choices that you make. You think I didn't feel bad hearing that I wasn't invited to a goddamn barbecue with my family? But I had to tell myself, you know what? This comes with the territory. I chose not to get stabbed up. You know what I'm saying? And whatever comes with that, then it's not gonna be an easy, it's not an easy road. It's not an easy road, but hey, you know what? I don't give a damn what nobody say. It's gonna make me mentally more mature. It's going to it's gonna show me that, you know, despite anything, against all odds, I had to stand on what I knew was true. I'm not a go along, get along type of person. I'm not sitting on the lap of this system, sucking on the tits of Rome, Romulus and Remus. I'm not being suckled by the system like that. I don't need them. You know what I'm saying? I don't need them for the simple fact that I've been sitting back in the cut like Fredo, and these niggas is drilling. I see them drilling. Y'all might not realize that they pulling on that this is a drill camp. These niggas, this is drill music. They bodying niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Babylon is bodying shit. And I'm like, you know what? Not me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare, I'm gonna prepare a seat at the table for any one of the family members who wakes up out of that quote unquote spell and needs my assistance. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there for them. I ain't gonna hold nothing against nobody because ignorance of the law is a motherfucker. And these people are ignorant of the law, and the law is self-preservation. But they're ignorant of that because they've been so conditioned by the state. You are the black sheep of the family. You woke up out of the matrix. Nobody said that it was going to be easy. This is a pop quiz, nigga. You're being tested. You know what I'm talking about? You're being tested. Either you're going to hold or you're going to fold. You the black sheep of the family. You was chosen. You're destined to survive, to take your bloodline and to make that shit do what it do for the next 500 or 1,000 years. If you choose to do, because there's people who have made the conscious decision that they're not going to procreate or they're not going to continue their bloodline. They're going to end it right here and there. And to be honest with you, species terminus is something that we called out about a decade ago. Shout out to A.A. Rashid, who brought that to light, species terminus, that the species is terminating. People are making the conscious decision to not continue the species. They're like, nah, my bloodline ends right here. My bloodline ends right here. I'm not going to create no more children. I'm ending it right here. And what the hell can I say? I'm not out here advocating for your bloodline. That's a choice that you make. But for those of us who wish to continue our bloodline, because we know that there's been no time that man wasn't, you know what I mean? We're going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to poison my sperm any more than it's already been poisoned. I'm not going to willingly inject certain type of particles into my blood system. I'm identifying this assault as one of the most grandest assaults that you can find. You could chop a nigga head off in war. You could drill the block and hit somebody up with the carbon. You know what I'm talking about? With the Draco, 30 shots. But when you go into somebody's bloodstream, when you touch their DNA, and then they have to and then they wind up procreating, and then they pass that on to their seed and whatnot, and then their seed passes that on to their seed, and going down the line, that's a different type of warfare. You rather get clapped. What Jada Kiss said, I'd rather die from a bullet than a nasty bitch. That was the song Dope Money. Excuse me for the explicitives. But yeah, that's different. That's a different type of assault. Niggas is stepping into your bloodline, into your DNA. They're coming to fuck with your genome. Do you know what your genome is? Do you know your genome sequences? Do you know that could be disrupted? Your greatness. Let me be great. Nigga, they're coming for your greatness. So you have to make the conscious decision to say, damn, this is a little bit of encroachment, my friends. This is a different level of encroachment. You know what I mean? You niggas was encroaching on my privacy, spying on me, listening to me and everything. I hope I gave you niggas a show. You know what I mean? I hope I gave you a show. You know what I'm talking about? I would love to meet my agents that are assigned to me one day. I'm just going to ask them, well, how did you like the show, nigga? Because y'all was watching everything. So you invade our privacy. You censor us, right? We can't even, you know what I mean? We can't even show off our drip anymore. You're blocking that. You're lying to us in schools and every other place, henceforth critical race theory and a pushback to that. You know what I mean? You're doing all of these things. You're feeding us bad food. You know what I mean? All of our favorite cartoons are being flipped around and changed and whatnot. Shout out to Robin and Batman. But when you encroach upon, you know, the DNA, it's just different. It's just different, bro. You know? It's just different. You know? Yeah, they doing all of that they do. And it is what it is. We live in the matrix. It's all expected. You feel me? And like I said before, if you ask me why all of this is taking place, I would say it's nothing wrong. It's just separating the wheat. What's that saying? The wheat from the mare? Is that it? It's separating the mice from the men. It's basically separating those who are really living this shit. Not just I'm just learning. No, you're learnt. You're part of the learnt. You learned what you needed to know. Now you are the wheat in the shaft. They're separating the wheat in the shaft, right? Oh, the wheat from the tares, right? The wheat from the tares. We need each other more now than we ever did. I'm really pleading to the community, you know, and I don't even know what that is, but I'm just pleading to people who I be meeting. And when I look in your eyes, y'all have a sparkle of life left in your eyes. You know, I look people in their eyes and, you know, I look for that spark. I'm pleading to y'all that however you do it, if you need persons such as myself to develop a system, you know, if you need architects to develop a system so it could be so this can happen, but we need each other a little bit more than we did yesterday, right? Look at all of these people saying that they're leaving their quote unquote JOBs, right? Look at all of these good people saying that they're backing out of their situation, right? So if they're backing out of this situation, right? If they're backing out of this situation, then what is the situation that they're currently going to be putting themselves in? If we see what's taking place, are we going to be reactionary or are we going to provide a solution? Because I'm solution based. I don't want to see nobody suffering. It's enough fucking suffering as it is. And to be honest with you, conscious people or enlightened people should not have to go through the type of suffering that they're going through right now because of the motherfucking choices that they make because they want to be different. And you got all of these campaigns around us telling us that we need to calm down because people around us want to be different and we need to respect that. Well, respect the fact that I want to be different. Respect the fact that I don't want to go along with your fucking games. Respect the fact that I want to make decisions for my family and myself and it's not going to be the shit that you're telling me. Respect that. You know, please have a little bit of respect. People are saying, don't quit, let them fire you. You know? Speaking of leaving a JOB, do you charge for consultations on what to do with a large amount of money when it comes to investing? Yes, I do. And I'm probably going to take the next week or two off, you know, to work. You know what I'm talking about? To work, because solutions are needed. Solutions are needed, right? I ain't going nowhere. But what I'm not finna do, not finna sit around and just watch shit do what it do. And I know that I've been working on solutions for like 6 years. You feel me? So we have answers, right? I just came across one of my Facts 2020s, one of my outlines. You know what I mean? I wrote this in 2019. In 2019. And everything about this thing right here, it's extensive, very extensive. But I'm going to create what is known as a white paper, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and try to talk to you all night about what I wrote out and my ideas and the visions and whatnot. Because I don't think that's not gonna change anything. That's not as effective as white papers. I'm going to put this. I want to put a white paper together, and in that white paper, the vision will be in the white paper. And whoever wants to, whoever agrees, and whoever feels like that's something that they want to be a part of, and whoever is on that type of frequency, it's going to be there for you to make. There'll be instructions on what to do next. A white paper is basically like a business plan, right? A white paper would be akin to what is known as like a business plan. You know, it's basically going to be a dissertation of the problems and the solutions and what it is that we're looking towards. You know, Facts Initiative, food, arms, clothing, technology, shelter, but it also stands for firearms, art, coding, transportation, and strategies. This is an initiative that we started in 2015. And the time to launch it, I've always struggled with the time to launch it, but if this is not the time, I don't know when the motherfucking time is. This is the time to roll out this initiative. And you know, my vision is to completely get off of the grid. You know, even if I'm in the big cities, if I'm in the cities, it's almost like I'm in the Matrix. If I'm off the grid, I'm in Zion, and I could think more correctly. I could think a little more clearer. You feel me? Where I'm at right now, you know, where I'm at right now is cool. I'm not necessarily in a big city environment. I'm surrounded by nature. I could go right in the woods and whatnot and, you know, just relax. And you know, I could go, I'm surrounded by flowers and trees and shit like that. So it's not that bad. But ultimately, my vision, or ultimately the visions that I've been having, is basically me and my family and others off grid, you know, out of the way. Out of the way. Niggas need to get out of the way. How many people do you need? I need 1,000 people. I only need 1,000 people to start with. You know what I mean? I only need 1,000 people to start with. That's the goal. 1,000. When I'm ready, I will announce when the white paper is ready. You'll know about it. I'm not a stranger, and y'all know how to stay in touch with me. My email is right there in case anybody wants to send their information and whatnot. I proposed earlier in the year that we start an investment club, but you know, everything is in due time. If I'm not ready for some shit, I'm not gonna roll it out because you know, I have to give my concerted time to things. But where my mental state is right now, and based off of the signs that are pointing, you know, school is coming back, right? School is back this week, and therefore, and from this point on, school is back. I got parents inboxing me. They nervous. They asking for exemption files and exemption forms. It's a bunch of shit going on. When I mean off grid, no internet, no. We doing the internet, my brother. We doing the internet, you know? We'll do the internet unless we got to get on some shit where we hiding from the sentinels and we got to turn off our quote unquote internet. You know, internet. But for right now, I am going to be what is known as a digital. If I'm off grid, I'm a digital nomad. And a digital nomad, you can move around the world, right? You can move around the world with a Wi-Fi connection and with a laptop, and you could successfully function. You can run multiple businesses. You could broadcast to the world through your camera, right? You could do transactions through your mobile, right? Through crypto and through the blockchain and other things. You know what I mean? Because this, as you see, the crypto is on the way up, right? Why is crypto up? Because the delta is here. Why is crypto rising? Why is Bitcoin? Why are we going back into a bull season? I have theories, but it really appears to see that this shit is about to be locked down again. And cryptocurrency and digital money and whatnot, you know, they fare better in that type of environment. Right? ADA is on fire, Cardano. That Ethereum is on fire. That Biddy is on fire. You know, and we'll look for the alt. We'll see if it's an altcoin season. You know, NFTs are on fire. You've seen Tory Lanez, one of the most hated, right? But he's always been a shrewd, or he's always been, I won't call him a shrewd businessman. He's been ahead of the curve in many different situations. He was independent. He was pushing that independent shit for a minute. He became a 1 minute millionaire earlier this week. He sold an NFT album in under 1 minute. He sold 1 million copies for $1 each, right? 1 minute millionaire. 1 minute millionaire, right? He made $1 million in under 1 minute. So he put up points. He etched one in the history books in the hip hop community, because there's been 1 minute millionaires taking place all over the place. But he just showed you in hip hop, you could be a 1 minute millionaire, right? I was encouraged by that. I'm like, shit, yeah. That red pillar, that red summer deluxe, that might be a $1 NFT. You know, I have to come to the ultimate realization that I'll never be what is known as a major record label artist, and I never wanted to be that in the first place. That was never my intentions. You know what I mean? So I need to start carving my path in this quote unquote untamed land. You know what I mean? I need to start motherfucking carving my own existence in the metaverse immediately, because that's the future. That's where it's headed. And I promise you, I think that, you know, as a community, we'll fare better pulling up on each other on more of a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Because I'm done with Instagram. You know, I'm addicted to it, but there's nothing really. I don't even know how it holds me on. I don't even know how Instagram is holding me the way that it's holding me, because the shit is not even interesting anymore. It's not exciting to me. I don't really learn nothing from Instagram. If I run across 1 minute TikTok, I really go on Instagram to laugh. You know what I'm talking about? I really fuck with Instagram to giggle and shit, because I just look for the jokes. The $1 trillion infrastructure bill is going to bring the Great Depression. Inflation, bro. Inflation like a motherfucker. You thought shit was expensive yesterday. Man, get ready. Get ready. Inflation is about to go stupid. You know? How long do I think the bull season will last? Not too sure. I got to do a little more research on that. What I do know is that what we were experiencing in the last few months, I feel like all of that was the big dogs manipulating the market, man. Like they wanted in. A lot of these banks, a lot of these Wall Street niggas, a lot of these quote unquote celebrities and millionaires, they wanted in, and they were able to get in, right? They were able to get in when everything was in the bear market. A lot of these quote unquote institutions and people, they hopped in. And that's what they wanted. They was tired of watching all of you niggas brag about the gains that you were making, and Bitcoin was 60 racks. They needed to get in. So they plunged that shit. They dropped that shit to a basement clearance price, and then they got in. So once they got in, they strapped in, they comfortable. Now it's time to go back up. Let's play ball. You heard of the bill. I'm gonna look into the bill a little bit more. I'm gonna look into the bill a little bit more, and I'll get back to you on it. I definitely gonna I need to wash my brain from these IG thoughts. Yo, IG thoughts, something else, bro. You know what I'm talking about? IG thoughts is something else. No, IG thoughts is like fentanyl. The IG thoughts is an opiate, nigga. The IG thoughts is an opiate. Think about it. Niggas is addicted, and it's not good for you all the time. The IG thoughts is an opiate. You know? Somebody said a lot of them be men. Like I said, it's the shit is fentanyl. It's that fetty, my nigga. The IG thoughts, that's that fetty. They not playing fair out there. You know? They're not playing fair out there. You know? They went from thirst trapping to just the escape room. They got niggas in escape rooms right now. It's bigger than thirst trapping. They got niggas on the deep web. They got niggas in a sunken place. Real talk. In a box somewhere, like the fucking like the nigga from they got niggas in a box, like how they had homie in Pulp Fiction, the Gimp. They got niggas in a box like the Gimp, my nigga. Be careful out there. You know what I'm talking about? Be careful out there. I see all kind of, you know what it took? It took me getting on a fucking heroic dose. 5 grams. And then I went on the gram. Oh my goodness, I should have never did that. I was on a 5 gram heroic dose of some fucking penis envy mushrooms. They're not psychedelic because it wasn't like I was seeing things. But my nigga, if you ever want to see who got demons on them, if you ever want to see who's posing, who's a man posing as a woman, if you ever want to see which one of your quote unquote thought leaders are completely fugazi, go on a heroic dose and then go on the internet. You know what I mean? You're gonna see that shit. And I don't even encourage, because when you're on a heroic dose, you can't even really, you're not supposed to interface with technology like that. You're not supposed to be in a digital environment. But I was listening to some music and I was like, let me just go on IG to see what's up, my nigga. That was the scariest shit that I probably ever saw in the last few years, because I seen it all. I was able to look through all of the facade. I could literally feel the fucking the negativity coming off the phone. I could feel it, yo. I could feel the toxicity. I could feel when I was scrolling through the gram. I could feel everything that was on that timeline, and it wasn't a good feeling. It was not a good feeling. Lord forbid I went on TikTok, my nigga. I stayed off of that, but it wasn't a good feeling. You know, I was hollering, I was laughing my ass off, because a lot of things that I don't regularly look at as fucking retarded and stupid, you know, when you're on them shrooms, you just laugh because it's so apparent. It's so apparent that this shit is so goofy. You know what I mean? You might not even realize that when you're sober. But It was screaming out, unplug, nigga. That's what it was screaming out. Unplug, unplug. Get up out of there. There's nothing for you there. Unplug. Become a ghost in a machine. You know? Become a ghost in a machine. Somebody said them shrooms will make you give up meat. Yo, man. Nobody told. They don't even have the 10 shroom commandments. Hell no. You should not be on no type of meat. What type of shrooms? Penis envy is the name of them. That's not, penis envy. PE, like Public Enemy. No. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. It was the Golden Teachers. I was in Atlanta. It was the Golden Teachers. That's what I was on. The GTs. I was on the Golden Teachers. And I was like, oh shit. I seen it. I seen it clearly. Don't get, you won't even stay long. I wouldn't even have to tell you don't stay long and don't get stuck on the internet, because it's gonna bother your whole aura. You're gonna unplug. But you're super sensitive. Your senses are sensitive when you're on the shrooms. So everything is heightened. Whatever you hear is heightened. LSD or shrooms was better. Shrooms. Don't get me started about LSD. Shrooms, my nigga, all day. You know what I'm talking about? I do not advocate LSD. Shout out to Cambada, but you will not find me advocating LSD to nobody. But the shrooms will have you, it's going to heighten your senses. So if you want to listen to some dope ass, like I listen to binaural beats, I listen to opera, I listen to some fucking jazz, some dope fiend jazz, meaning jazz that niggas who made it was dope. They was solidified dope fiends. That's a different type of jazz right there. And I listen to some Red Summer. You don't talk about shit that I could take. You can't listen to everything when you're on shrooms because it will fuck you up. You cannot listen to lower frequency music. It's highly recommended that you don't. Henceforth, why I just ran off all of those higher frequency musics, opera, jazz, some soul music, like Aretha type of shit from back in the days where they were singing about loving each other, right? Not this debauchery shit, not this 50 Shades of Grey R&B shit, not that. Because you're going to feel the hate. You could play with it if you want. Go and press play. You're going to feel the hate. It's going to fuck your whole aura up, and you might have a bad trip. But you try it if you want. You'll feel the hate of the lower. You'll feel the hate of the drill music. Not necessarily all drill music, because like I said, that's the war drum. That's the war drum. You might want to get in a war drum type. You might be preparing for war. You might be preparing for war. Listen to the Trip album by Jhené Aiko. Okay, I listened to a few of those cuts, but I'll take your advice on that. You know, don't play no video. I don't suggest playing video games too tough. You don't want to be attached to the digital world. Think about your eyes having hands coming out of them, right? When you're on the shrooms, your sensory is going to attach itself to things. Right now, I'm just looking at the camera and whatnot, and I don't feel like my hand, I don't feel like the rays of my eyes is attached to the computer screen. But you fuck with you get the wrong dose. You fuck with the wrong shroom. That's how you gonna feel. He said he had to listen to. Yo, that's high frequency. Jagged Edge is fucking. Let's get married and all of that. That's high frequency. That's high frequency. You know. Oh, somebody said the Botanical Gardens is lit. What? What? Yes. Go in nature. Go in nature. When you on them things, go to the botanical garden and get your fucking top blown. You know what I mean? Get your mind blown. Somebody said that they had went to the aquarium. I think it was my nigga Patah Tahudi. He was like, he went to the Atlanta aquarium and that shit blew him. He was on a heroic dose and that shit blew his mind. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But definitely go into the garden, go into the forest. You feel me? If you get on, I was in Miami in South Beach. I got in the water. My genius. My goodness. Oh man, I can't even describe the feeling. It felt like everything. It felt like I plugged back into something that was universal, like I was a universal remote, my nigga. Real talk. He said, you literally see the leaves breathing. That's a fact. Like the trees are alive. The trees are alive. It will make you hug the tree. Henceforth, tree hugger. And I talk crazy about tree hugging, but nigga, I'll hug a tree in a minute. What about DMT? DMT is natural, right? People say LSD is natural, but last time I checked, didn't they make that in a lab? You know, you got DMT in your system. I'm not throwing DMT away because I'm an advocate for the Bufu. We just Lionsgate just passed 8/8, the Lionsgate, which is August 8th. 2 years ago in Brooklyn was my first Bufu, right? What they call the toad, right? The toad, right? Toad medicine. I was at Uncle Hanky's and I tapped in, you know? And man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. Did you see what Scott said? Why are you in the ocean? Sharks in the water. Scott, do you think I'm talking about being Aquaman, my nigga? I'm in South Beach. There ain't no sharks in South Beach. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, I'm on South Beach. Somebody said you hugging trees. Yeah, I'm a tree hugger. I'm a tree hugger. I didn't tell y'all that? No, I didn't inform the family that I'm now a tree hugger. Yeah, I'm a tree hugger. Yeah, I hug the tree. I definitely hug the tree. Because when I hugged the tree, I felt like it was taking a lot of negative energy off of me. And I was like, damn, I don't want to give you this energy tree. But yeah, the trees are alive. You know what I'm talking about? The trees are alive. And to be honest with you, if you in the water on shrooms and you see a shark, you're not gonna run. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we are the sharks. You're not gonna run. You're not gonna run. You're gonna be able to be like, yo, what's good? What's up? What's up, Jaws? What was it? Sharknado? You might even have a Sharknado, shark tornado all around you. You're gonna feel like you could talk to the sharks. You know? That fear shit kind of goes out of the window. You're on a different frequency. If some shit scares you while you're on shrooms, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say that you're gonna be completely on some fucking Rambo shit with no fear. You know, everybody is different. I don't know what it'll do for you, but you're not gonna be all in your heebie-jeebies. See, people mistaken shrooms for the weed that they smoke and the acid that they heard about, meaning that they think that you're gonna trip out or you're gonna be paranoid in a chicken coop like Chris Tucker on Friday. And that's sherm. That's taking sherm. That's what happens when you smoke sherm or that wet, or when you take a tab like acid. Shrooms don't deal with that you're not going to hallucinate and start seeing fucking aliens and whatnot. It heightens your senses, your smell, your hearing, your taste, and your sight. That's what it does. You're not going to be, it's not like, oh, I could triple. You're not going to take shrooms and be a different person. And you know what I mean? Like, you know how people could go on an acid trip and come back, like how niggas lace niggas blunts and they're never the same. I haven't met anybody that did any shrooms and they're like, I'm not the same anymore. And if anything, the I'm not the same is I'm not asleep anymore. I'm not in the fucking matrix anymore, nigga. I'm not on a delta wave anymore. That's the change that I hear. You don't hear people say, oh, my friend took some shrooms and now they're just talking to themselves and they're cuckoo and whatnot. No, you know, there's a huge misconception. There's a huge misconception. I just want to clear that up. And I'm not sitting up here telling anybody to do anything, because to be honest with you, you know, you do things on your own free will. Don't let me, I'm not a cheerleader for none of that shit. I'm not going to sit up here and cheerlead nothing. You know what I mean? The only thing I'm going to tell you to do is to breathe. You know what I'm talking about? I'm an advocate for breathing. Other than that, but I will be transparent and I will share without the fear of anybody judging me. I'll share experience because we live in an age of experience. And if I experience some shit and I'm like, yo, that shit is lit, I'm here to let you know. I told niggas don't do LSD because I did it and it was not a good experience. That's my experience, right? That's my experience. I did the toad, I did shrooms, and I'm like, nigga, that's lit. For me, you know, for me. It helped me deal with whatever the fuck I wanted it to deal with. It showed me some shit that I needed to see. It opened up my eyes to some things that I might not necessarily was able to see in my quote unquote sober state, because who is of the understanding or the knowledge that they say that, you know, that this state that we're in right now is the dream. This is the dream state. You know, when Kanye said that he could see music, right? You know, when he made that statement that he could see music, right? That's what shrooms can help you do. It can help you see music. It can help you see music. You feel me? If you ever thought that you could see music, because to be honest with you, music, all of the spectrums of light and tonalities and tones, like we need to do I want to just do a whole 2-3 hour show on the spirituality of music. I was sharing it before. Like, music is an inner thing, right? Your eyes are lying to you about what you see. Your eyes are dealing with the exterior, but everything is upside down. This shit is an illusion. It's lying to you. It's exterior, even though what you see, you would think that's going inside is feeding your brain or whatnot, but this is really dealing with external. Music on the other end, look at your ears. Your ear is a cave. Your ear is a cave, right? Your ear inside of your ear. Your ear inside of your ear is a cave. And where is that cave going, right? Where is that cave going? That cave is going into the innerverse. That cave is taking you into the innerverse. Music beyond anything else. Because people be like, why they always talk about hip hop? Nigga, do you know the power of music? Do you know the power of music? We were not taught that. We didn't even learn music in school. Some of us got in there and they took it out by the time we got into school. Niggas didn't even know about, you don't even know about do re mo fa. What's the shit? Do re mo fa say whatever the fucking tones are. We don't even know that. We don't even know the science of colors. The highest, even in masonry. I'm not a mason for the record, but even in Freemasonry, if you look at the quote unquote, they have a hierarchy, they have a pyramid. Music is on the top. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, yeah, all that shit. So when I say a shroom experience, right? And I already put it out there to get your haptic vest, right? Your haptic technology, right? I think the Wooger vest, like $400. It'll change your life if you're about experience, right? This vest plugs up. You could plug this vest up, put it on, and they also have like a belt and a shit like, you know, like an Iron Man where he has the circle that lights up. The vest, the minute the music plays, the vest is gonna vibrate. It's called a haptic vest. The video game niggas, the video gamers, right? They have haptic chairs, right? They play video games and they sit in what is known as a haptic chair. So they playing Call of Duty, and if they get shot, the chair will fucking vibrate like they got shot, right? You've been in the movie theaters, it's called 9D. I went to Dave and Buster's, took my children there. They had 9D technology, not 3D, 9D. The reason why it was 9D is because it is interactive, it's immersive. So the video gamers have immersive technology. So I'm co-signing immersive technology in the name of the haptic vest, right? Especially those of us who go on these shroom trips. Haptic vests and some shrooms and some fucking jazz or some good music like Miles Davis, you know what I mean? Coltrane, Max Roach, you know, I would go and listen to the soundtrack for the Summer of Soul, right? The documentary that Questlove put out. It's on Hulu, I believe. I think that there's a soundtrack. If the soundtrack has all original music and whatnot from that era, I will go and listen to that. Even, you know, Mahalia Jackson, gospel and all of that. That, yeah, Monk, you know what I mean? You say Parliament, I say Sun Ra, definitely Sun Ra. Yeah, definitely Parliament, you know. But people be on, the people that listen to Parliament, that's that LSD, that's that shit. That's acid. You know, they get off to shit like that. But like Duke Ellington, Salt Peanuts, you know what I mean? A little bit of Billie Holiday. I saw a Billie Holiday movie that Lee Daniels made. I didn't like that shit. I don't like Lee Daniels. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. Yeah. Some early Stevie Wonder, some early Ray Charles, some Louis Armstrong, because they tell you don't even listen to music when you're in the boomies and whatnot. But I'm like, fuck is you talking about? They like, you should just sit in the room and let your inner self talk to you. I'm like, that is true. Don't get it fucked up. It's not like a concert when you're on shrooms. But you may go into a space where you talking to your ancestors or you talking to your inner voice, and you know, you might want to listen to some music. So if you do choose to listen to some music, I'm just giving you high vibrational music. I'm giving you high vibrational music. You smell me? Some Sade? I don't know. I didn't try Sade. Some Snow Aguilera? Some Hans Zimmer. You a legend for that, Candy. So boom, this is a hack. This is a hack because Candy is an artist. So this is your hack. This is a hack right here. Here's your brain hack, right? 4 grams, 5 grams, 3.5, a clear canvas, oil paint, or whatever the fuck you water paint, watercolor paint, oil paint, whatever medium you use. I would say a tablet, but like I said, you don't want to interface with technology. You want to be in a place, you don't even want to be in nigga, how did Basquiat do the shit that he was doing? I seen a Basquiat document. What the fuck was he on? They said he was on heroin. No, thank you. I'm good. Whatever the fuck he was, look, what was he on that made him draw like that? He was channeling some shit. So we live in a post-NFT world where people are making a living selling their artwork. I'm just saying, you might have your original style, but, try it out. See where it takes you. You know what I mean? I'm a perfectionist. Like, I have to break out of that when it comes to the art. I draw it. I don't draw outside the lines. You know what I mean? The way that I train myself was through comics and whatnot and other things. So, I'm more of an in the line type of artist, but low key, I want to draw. I want to paint. I want my art to be like Basquiat's one day. I kind of, like, I like that kind of crazy looking shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that shit is, I don't know. It just speaks to me. You know what I mean? On some Scorpio shit, it speaks to my Scorpio. How is folks' behavior after mushrooms? You be laughing. You be on some lovey love shit. You know what I mean? I love you. You giggly. You kind of goofy. Kind of goofy. She said, just let go and let it flow. Yeah, I'm going to try it out. The come down is hard. Yeah. The come down is not too bad for me. I wake up feeling great. You know what I mean? Through those sessions, I wake up, my brain feels like, remember they said that psychedelics or psilocybin helps connect synapses. It's linked to neuroplasticity, meaning that you're repairing brain cells and synapses in your brain by utilizing some of these quote unquote medicines, right? Because we wreck our brains in everyday activity, especially if we're abusing our bodies and whatnot. You feel me? So what helps to your, I know lion's mane and nootropics, but what do you come across on an everyday type of thing that's in your closet or your refrigerator or your cabinet that's helping to repair brain synapses? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like Epiphany is saying, I didn't experience a come down. I was coming down and I was like, nigga, get more shrooms. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, we got to go back up. We got to go back up. I'm not ready to come back down. I was on some Jeff Bezos shit. I was outside the atmosphere, comfortable enough. I didn't leave the Van Andrew. What was the Van Halen? The Van Jones belt. I didn't leave the belt. That's what the toad does. The toad will have you leaving this motherfucking belt. The toad off the third hit, nigga. I was out of. I was like, I looked like the fucking. I looked like a Dogecoin meme, nigga. I was on that rocket ship. Buddha Black, you asking about the shrooms? I really can't answer you that. I'm sorry, man. You know what I'm talking about? You like, who got them? I don't know. It was in my backyard. Somebody said that the shrooms saved. No, he said that the shrooms grounded him and helped him, but he attributed that to the toad. It was Mike Tyson that pushed me to do it. I shared this story before. Blue Pill did it before me, and I wasn't buying what he was selling. I was like, I'm good, bro. I'm so good. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that you're telling me, it just, yeah, it was too far flung for me. And you know, Blue is animated. He'll get on some shit. He'd be like, yeah, I had a conversation with God. I was like, yeah, that's doing too much. I don't think I need to have a conversation with God right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm like, how you had a conversation with God and you back talking to me right now? You know, I was being ignorant. I was like, what did he say? You know what I'm saying? And then it took me a while, right? Because he even had witnesses. It was niggas that was with him that was like, nah, fam, this is it. This shit was like, this was it. You don't need nothing else. And I was like, I don't know, man. You niggas look the same to me. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm watching Mike Tyson's podcast, and he keeps bringing up the toad, right? He keeps bringing up the toad. I'm like, damn, this nigga's on it too. But then, like I said, I used to work for Mike Tyson back in the days, right? Me and Blue, we was working with Tyson. And I was outside back in those days. Like, I consider myself to be in the streets back, and I was intimidated by Mike Tyson back in those days. This was like 98, right? I was intimidated by this nigga, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And I was an employee. I was on payroll. And being in the room with him, he used to be at the Trump. We would go over there. You know, he's a sex addict too, right? So he's always got shorties around. And he's a fucking boxer. So it's like, you got to be careful with the shorties because they're going to be on you. But then you like, damn, you Mike shorty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't even say nothing to me. Like, don't talk to me when Mike is around. Fuck out of here. Because if this nigga hook off on me, what you going to do? You know what I'm talking about? Y'all setting me up. So Mike was very intimidating. I'm just putting it out there like that. You know what I mean? He was very intimidating. So to see where he's at now, yeah, Mike was definitely paying for the box. He was definitely paying. I'm not gonna say that he was buying. He was gifting women for their companionship. Is that a better way of saying it? It wasn't like he had prostitutes laying around. It wasn't like he was on Backpage or whatever. But girls knew, like that was the running. You know what I mean? Women knew, like if I fuck with Mike, I'm gonna get a fur. I'm finna get a car. If I really go hard on this nigga, like they knew that there was a value system. Mike has a value. He had a reward system attached to his name. You know what I'm talking about? He'll set you up. He'll put you up for good. You just gotta answer his where you at beats and whatnot. But Mike was known to, you know, he blew through a lot of money taking care of Dots in Flatbush, in Brooklyn for that matter. That's a fact. But anyway, so when I seen that it changed him, I was like, you know what? It's the Lionsgate. You know, I've been meditating. The spirit told me I have nothing to fear. So I understand the fear factor when it comes to anything. People scared to smoke weed. Yeah, Blue Pill is definitely always leading the way. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to shit like this. He's the one that goes in first. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll come and do the cleanup. He goes in first. So I advocate, but like I said, this is not a cold pitch. I'm not cold selling nobody because I don't have nothing to sell. You feel me? I don't have nothing to sell. I'm just giving you the experience because we are living in the age of experience, and I feel being transparent is more helpful than being a recluse and holding shit within. I just, you know, I want to share what needs to be shared. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that it may help, one, and I feel that I'm amongst my peers who also have shit that they need to share, two, and three, sharing is caring. You know, sharing is caring. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. I tell people my first shroom experience was at the hands of Dr. Sabi. The big homie passed me a Ziploc, right? Like this. He passed a zippy. I hope them people don't come and get me. He passed me a zippy and it had approximately this much. And I was like, what am I to do with that? And you know how he go, take that shit home and do it. Don't, you know, it was just like, nigga, what you talking about? Go and chew them shits, nigga. You need these. This was like 03. This was like 03, 02. And I did them and it was great. And I didn't do them for like another 20 years. No, another 15 years. Maybe 10 years, maybe. I don't know. You know? But now it's the shit. Now we have, because back then it was frowned upon. I was younger back then, so it was frowned upon amongst that younger audience. I didn't have an audience. I didn't have a community. I didn't have a network the way that I have now. So now a lot of people are on the same page. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are on the same page, and that's a great thing. A heroic dose is 5 G's and whatnot. A heroic dose is 5 G's. And we also had our good brother Baba Kalindi on Know the Ledge Radio on Blog Talk in like 2012, 13, 14. He was dropping it. You know what I mean? He been dropping it. So, you know, now we here. And people is out here healing. Not going to give you, my thing is this. I'm not going to tell you about nothing that's not going to help heal you. It's too many things, too many people out here telling you about shit that will hurt you. And it's too much shit out here. And I know that our community has a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt. It's a lot of people with core issues. It's a lot of people. You wouldn't be into consciousnness if you didn't have a level of trauma. You wouldn't be attracted to the truth if somebody didn't set you up into some falsehoods. You know what I mean? Living in a falsehood is traumatic in it of itself. You know what I mean? In it of itself. So I'm only here to help assist with people in their trauma. If I ever turn into a YouTuber and all I do is go live to spread trauma and to put you people who are listening to me in a lower state of frequency, to put you on Delta, man, Baba, come and chop my head off, man. I'll give you the right to come and drill me. You know what I'm talking about? If I'm up here spreading viruses through this microphone and lowering your energy to when you log off, you go and eat a fucking ham sandwich, or you go and self-sabotage and hurt yourself, because that's what bad energy does to us. When I leave World Star, sometimes I don't feel good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like going to do push-ups and, you know, plant a flower and whatnot. I feel destructive after watching a bum fight or something, or some negative shit. You know what I mean? When I get off of Vlad TV, I don't feel enlightened. So if I could, you know, I could be, and I'm not the most enlightened, you know what I mean? I'm not the most positive. I got my ways. You know what I mean? I got my ways. I'm more of an archangel than anything. You know what I'm talking about? I would be more of an archangel than anything. But this is about healing. This is about getting away from that trauma. This is about evolving. You know what I'm talking about? This is about coming out of your cocoon. You know, this is about growing your wings. This is about being very honest, because none of us are perfect. I never met a YouTubian, a master teacher, or anybody who was perfect, nor did I meet anybody that claimed to be perfect. That's a fact. That's a fact. I have not met one person, and I'm so fine with that. I'm not on a pursuit to find a perfect nigga sitting under a tree somewhere talking about Hotepu. You know what I mean? That's not my mission. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to find the imperfect, perfect people, and to appreciate you niggas for your imperfectness, and to learn from your weaknesses. If I have any type of strength to lend to your weaknesses, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I'm not going to be here forever, but while I'm here, that's what I'm here for. And the more I do these shows, the more I learn that many of us are just alike. I love having conversation like this. I love to interact. I love to engage. If we was in a room, I would be looking at each one of y'all in your face. You dig what I'm saying? If we was in an auditorium somewhere, if we was in a lecture hall, if we was on a motherfucking block, my nigga, I would be looking y'all in your eyes, engaging with you. You know what I mean? This would be a conversation. That's what Dr. Sabi taught me. You know what I mean? I was 8 years old, 7 years old. This nigga didn't even wear shoes. So I was literally at his feet. He would stand on an elevated platform. I was literally at his feet because he had long, ashy feet and he'd take his sandals off. So I was literally sitting at his feet, me and my brother, A.A. Rashid, Ahmed, and a few other people. And we were learning from him. And he taught me the motherfucking game. You know what I mean? And he taught me how to talk to people because I didn't always have that. I'm an extrovert, but I had a fear of talking to people. So by having conversations with y'all, of course, this is a limited format. I did the other thing where I opened up the lines, and that was cool, having everybody on the line. We was chopping it up. But I'm about engagement. I'm about kicking it. I'm about talking and chopping it up. You know what I mean? If I have a problem, I'm going to put it out there. Hopefully somebody can help solve it for me. You dig what I'm saying? And vice versa. People come to me all day with issues and problems, and I point them in directions. Here, go and hit this person. Call my mama. Here, hit KT up. Hit Blue Pill up. Hit this person up. Hit that person up. If I can't help. Because if we're not going to help each other, then we might grow up to hurt each other. You don't want to see your hero turn into a villain right in front of your face. And too much of that is taking place. A lot of my heroes became zeros before it was all said and done. You know what I mean? Before it was all said and done. So the moral of the story at the end of the day is that yes, we are in some trying times. I don't know what the future holds, right? But we are definitely in some trying times. The same kind of times that we were in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 21. What do you mean by that, Red Pill? Every year presents a challenge. This is like a video game. Every fiscal year is a different level. We've always been under threat and coerce. We always been under threat of something bad happening to us. Yo, the Y2K. Yo, the SARS. Yo, the fucking, the mad cow disease. If you want to know anybody that has any inquiries, hit me on my email. Any business inquiries, hit me on my emails and whatnot, and I'll be able to holler. You know, but we've been here before. I'm just here to let you know. We've been here before. Baba tell you, you know what I mean? In the lecture community, there's never been a year where we didn't have some crises that we had to talk about. There's never been a year where some shit wasn't on the horizon that the master teachers had to teach about. There's never been a year where we had to console and comfort the people in the audience because they were afraid that some shit was finna happen because the media said that it was. There's never been a year. There's never been a year. So the fact that you see catastrophic events taking place, I'm here to let you know that it's only because this bitch is falling. It's been projected and prophesized to be like that. If you listen to roots and reggae hip hop, if you listen to roots and reggae, roots and culture reggae, I'm sorry, the roots and culture reggae, Man Like Midnight, Sizzler, right? All of the Bobo Shantis, Capleton. They've been all talking about Babylon. They've been all talking about these days and times. If you listen to 90s conscious hip hop, or what they call backpack hip hop, the Wu-Tang shit when they was getting deep, early Nas and whatnot, everybody talked about the times that we are in right now. So we should be rejoicing. You know, remember Boom Bye Bye and all of that? We should be rejoicing. Garnett Silk, I cried when he died. You know, I cried when he made transition. You know, I Wayne, Richie Spice, yes, Lord. Yeah, early Dead Prez. They've been preparing us for today. They've been preparing us for the times that we are in. We need to rejoice. We need to double back and go and listen to some of the classics. That's why I love the verses, because when would we where else would we would have collectively heard all of this music that we're hearing from the 90s and whatnot, where we could celebrate the eras in real music when the shit sounded like, you know, of substance. Tennyson, oh man. Bob Marley, old Bob. You know what I mean? Steel Pulse. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are living in prediction. We are living in revelations. We are. We need to, we don't need to, but for the teachers, if you call yourself a teacher, you should be more responsible to help people with their mental health in these days and times. You should be more, if your mental health is bad, if your mental health is failing, nigga, don't go live. You know what I'm talking about? We could do without you right now, unless you are pleading for help. You know? Because that shit is like a virus that you spread through your YouTube channels when you niggas is wild toxic and you have all of these quote unquote entities that are basically on you and whatnot. And that's not to say that, you know, that all of us are entity free. Some of us got succubus, incubus. Some of us have all kind of shit on us. But if it's controlling you, and if it has a hold of you, like I'm seeing certain people out there where they're not in control of their bodies right now, nigga, fall back and do the work. You got to work with you. You got to work on your shadow self. You know what I mean? You got to break the motherfucking spells. You know? You might have to go off the grid and go into nature for like a month or something. So my whole thing is, for the teachers, please be more responsible. I could only ask you once. You know what I mean? Please be more responsible, because you are vicariously affecting thousands of people. You can't be that selfish. You know what I mean? You can't be that selfish. You know, it's not that serious. And for those teachers who know the days and times that we're living in, speak to it. We are in revelations, the revelations of our master teachers. You know what I'm saying? Garvey predicted it. Drew Ali predicted it. Elijah predicted it. Valentine, Hemet, you know, Sabi, Gregory, Dick. You know what I mean? A few people, a whole bunch of people. A pantheon of master teachers. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Africa, right? Dr. Clark. Most recently, Runoko Rashidi, right? They all are 100 or 99% accurate with the information that they were disseminating. Dr. Delbert Blair, 20 years, 30 years ago, right? That's how you know who's ahead of the time. That's how you know who's quote unquote a prophet or a messenger or what could be called these days a master teacher, because the work that they put out is the people listening to it that day, they probably was like, this nigga is off some type of medication. You don't talk about, like, I done paid $10 to hear this nigga talk about nanobots. What the fuck is a nanobot? I remember being in a lecture where Dr. Valentine was talking about scalar weapons and nanobots, and during the break, these niggas came up to my table with blasphemy on their breath, talking about, yeah, this nigga's in there talking about nanobots. What the fuck is a nanobot? Now look at you, nigga. I went to look for that nigga who said that on Facebook, and he looks horrible. It looked like the nanobots already ate his ass alive. Like, yeah, nigga, you should have been listening to Valentine, nigga. What you talk about? You know? Then yeah, so these teachers are ahead of their time. A lot of them. Imagine trying to, you had to have faith in your master teachers. You had to have faith in their research, because they were projecting situations that had not happened until 20 years later. Who was fucking with that? Yeah, they were definitely decoding in the 90s. They were definitely decoding in the 90s. So shout out to everybody that's there to preserve their legacy. I don't know if the brother Tariq Nasheed the museum is going to be a master teachers museum, and he's going to have a special wing for them. But if he does, that'll be very honorable. You know what I mean? He shouldn't even be the only one that's going to erect institutions, that's going to pay homage to our mystery system. Our mystery system. I don't know about no other mystery system, because the black public's mystery system is black Boule Mason niggas. They were in the Black Masons. That when you go to Washington, D.C., and you go into their museum, they're going to show you the black mystery system, and that's black Boule niggas. And they don't speak for us. They don't speak for us. Black niggas in fraternities, the fraternal orders, that's not my master teachers. So whoever's building edifices and institutions to pay homage to the black mystery system or the mystery school of the ones who rose us from out of the grave. They rose us from being on a delta frequency. We was walking dead. We was walking dead. Malachi Z. York, through his writings, because I'm not a Nuwabian, nor was I ever one, but I read his pamphlets, and then I read the Holy Tabernacle, and it blew my mind. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Clark, all of the academia, right? The ones that were academics, they blew my mind, and they took it to a level, and then the metaphysicians and the occults, and they took it to another level and whatnot, and it's continuously been blown ever since. You know, it's continuously been blown ever since. So that's my mystery system. You know what I mean? That would be that's my priesthood. That's my priesthood. They rose me up out of the grave. You know? I'm claiming them. So in the future, of course, we're going to be doing everything in our foreseeable powers to make sure that we dedicate buildings and institutions and put the names of the great ones on it. And we are presented with an opportunity to divorce ourselves from a system and from a quote unquote lying ass false reality filled with all kind of falsehoods and predatory vibes and liars and fakes and phonies. You know, we have a toxic relationship with America. It's highly abusive, and that bitch is narcissist. That bitch is a narcissist. So we have the opportunity to get out of a toxic relationship. And, you know, I guess the P is good because niggas is hanging on. You know what I mean? I guess the WAP is too wet. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but it's a hard breakup. You know, the shit has it has its teeth sunken into us. It's an aggressive lover. You know what I mean? She has reward systems attached to her. She has a value system. You could be a fucking weirdo. You could be a complete douchebag and be rewarded in this system. You know what I mean? You could walk around with mad mental health issues and you could be rewarded in this system. And you could be, and according to Rome, they're like, we'll even value you. But nigga, don't walk around like this. You know what I'm talking about? Don't walk around with a dashiki on. You know what I mean? Don't walk around with a kufi on. You know, don't walk around, looking anything outside of the preconceived notions of how you niggas are supposed to look. We have a problem with that. You know? So this divorce is going to take time. We are currently in counseling right now, relationship counseling, and we're pointing out how abusive this broad is to us. We're pointing out how toxic, this because it's America is female and male. It's androgynous. It's a trend. You know what I'm talking about? It's definitely a transsexual. No offense to anybody out there that's transsexual. I'm just saying, America is androgynous. You know? So we have to have more conversations with each other about the relationship that we have with this system, the Matrix, and what it's doing for our mental health and for our spiritual health and for our emotional health and then our financial health. We're at the bottom of the totem pole. It's still crumbs on the table. We didn't move the middleman completely out of the way. There's still motherfuckers with their hands all in our pockets. They standing on resources that they don't own. They standing on land that they don't own. This bitch just came and moved in, and somebody was already living in the house. So they in America squatting. The European is over here squatting on the gold, squatting on the oil, squatting on the crystals, squatting on the water, squatting on the forests, the fauna and the flora, the fauna and the flora. You know, you see the articles about them talking about they don't wash up. You don't need me to tell you that. You see the articles saying that they like, yo, why should we take a shower? Right? Exhibit A. Let's take a trip. They like taking a shower is not that important. There's other things that are important in 24-hour days. You know, like, playing with the dog, juggling the dog, kissing the dog.
What is your thoughts on bathing? I know this is a real thing. Do you feel like showering every day is necessary, or do you shower only when you feel dirty? I swear to God, this is a real thing.
Well, I don't shower every day.
Okay.
I do what needed. I wash my hair every 4 days.
Right.
Yeah.
I wash my hair every 4 days.
Shower, whether that's every day, that maybe, but it could be every 3 days. I kind of keep myself clean though. Like if I feel like my feet smell or something, I just take some, washcloth and some soap to it. I might not have to clean my whole body.
Yeah.
Right. And then I got a debate to clean the.
There you go. Yep.
So I don't necessarily have to. I don't like it.
But it's going around.
The baby said, I don't like it.
What is your thoughts on bathing? I know this is a real thing. Do you feel like showering every day is necessary, or do you shower only when you feel dirty? I swear to God, this is a real thing.
Well, I don't shower every day.
Okay.
That's iced tea on her lap.
I wash my hair every 4 days.
Right.
When I'm feeling icky, I'll get in the shower. Whether that's every day, that maybe, but it could be every 3 days. I kind of keep keep myself clean though. Like if I feel like my pits smell or something, I just take some, washcloth and some soap to it. I might not have to clean my whole body.
Yeah,
And
right.
then I got a debate to clean the.
There you go.
down-
Oh man. Yo, and she's breastfeeding the child still to this day, right? You're breastfeeding the child at 5 years old and you don't wash your nips? Are you serious? And you got she got tig old bitties and whatnot. Them shit, the circumference of those bitties, they don't attract dust. You understand? She has 2 things on her body that take up a lot of fucking airspace, and you don't wash those things? You feel comfortable saying that with iced tea on your lap? Are you serious? To this day. Yeah, America, the sign of America is Cancer, right? The crab. If that was a black woman talking about she's not washing her areolas, they would have called Child Protective Services. That's a fact. Don't get it fucked up. They would have made a whole cancel campaign to be like, get her the fuck out of here. Get her out of here. You know what I'm saying? You are rewarded for your toxicity. They're pushing this narrative that you don't have to bathe every day. They're literally, and it's not like it don't matter because they're not gonna do it. You could push it or you don't have to push it. They're just like, yo, it's in our DNA that we don't bathe like that. This is some shit that, the Moors came and disrupted our fucking tradition. Coming around with that soap and whatnot, they done fucked everything up. And you have people touching your hair. You have, if anybody ever comes into your cubicle and says something about your fucking your effervescence, your pheromones, black women have natural pheromones. You know what I mean? If they ever say anything crazy about your fucking pheromones or your natural smell, you have the right given by me. You know what I'm talking about? To get on some gangster shit. How dare they? How dare they? Don't let them touch your hair. Because you know what they say about everybody putting their motherfucking hands in your hair. They make your hair fall out. You don't let everybody do your hair. We need to focus. Going back to what I was saying about living in a false reality, living in Rome will have you fucked up in these streets. We've externally given praise and we look up to a group of people, right, who lied to us. I'm being real sensitive right now. You know what I mean? I'm being real sensitive right now because, I don't want to hurt your feelings, right? But if we all were given the truth, if the truth was laid out without all of the fucking the window dressing that they put on things, if they were just to teach the truth from a scientific place, from a cultural place, from a historic place, right? Then we would fare better as a collective. The reason why we are going through so many quote unquote malfunctions in our operating system is because of the malware and the viruses that are in the code. And the malware and the viruses that are in the code have a lot to deal with the perception that we have of a people who are not like us. And even if they are like us, there's stark differences, okay? And as a result of those, and also to keep it 1,000 with you, It's so much that's not being told. There's so much that's not being told. A lot of those white people walking around, you know, they used to be black or melanated, you know what I mean? Or Moors and whatnot. They have this whole ritual with the coagulation of their race and whatnot to whiten themselves up. Look at Drake's baby. I use that as an example. Little Adonis. He's one generation removed from a parent who's considered to be amalgamated, and he has blonde hair and blue eyes. If you never saw Drake, Adonis could go amongst society and function like he's a pure Caucasian, right? And I'm using that example to show you what happened when the mulattoes came in to Haiti, when they came into Florida from Spain, and they were running with the conquistadors. These was mulattoes, or what they call amalgamated Moors. Okay, the brutish Moors, what you knew as the British Moors, the Britons and whatnot. They had a bunch of amalgamated niggas in that bunch. Okay. So a lot of these Europeans, they are utilizing the one drop rule, you know, and they're lying to you. And the hate that they have when they look at you is the same hate is the hate that they have when they look in the mirror, because they hate that 1%. Look at the Jackson family. Yeah, the Jackson family is going to take maybe 2 generations to whiten all of it, to bleach themselves out and whatnot. But I shared you with the Drake shit. That was 1 generation. If his son has if Adonis gets with a Becky, then the child that they have, you won't even know that he comes from that lineage. So when you look at those quote unquote royal, when you look at those coats of arms in Europe, and it's a bunch of niggas, it's a bunch of black people, blackamoors. But then you look at the bloodline that you see now, and they're blonde haired and blue eyed. You like, damn, how did that happen? Yeah, okay. It's a ritual. It's a ritual that they do willingly, and we'll get into that. I would love Ross Ben to be on the show when we get into it. I don't want to take his cloth and run with it. I want him to be able to break that down, because he does an excellent job of disseminating that kind of information. But, you know, let's stop looking outside of ourselves. Let's stop looking towards anybody else to be anything other than what they're not. And let's start looking either within or, you know, I mean, it's either within or it's in the immediate circles and shit like that. And like I said, you know, I'm an American. You know, I was born in Northwestern Mexico, but I'm a global citizen. So I have the rights to sit down and break bread with anybody from any place, any part of the planet. I could sit down and shake hands and break bread and chop it up and learn from and teach any nationality, because I understand who I am. I can never be anything that's trying to be like me. I would never try to be something that I'm not. You know what I mean? And this is not even arrogance. I'm just saying, like, I'm a global citizen. So the globe is my playground. You know, we sit down and we talk to people around the globe, because, to be honest with you, in order for the world to heal, in order for the world to get back on the right frequency, it's going to take those of us that know the truth to teach it. People are not just going to learn this on their own. They're going to be lied to. And then you hate what you don't understand. So we should be teaching more so. And you know, that's another responsibility for the artists and whatnot. Where's the teaching? We know that you out here killing your homies and whatnot, but get back to the teaching, my nigga. Get back to the teaching, because it's some lessons that need to be taught. So with that being said, I'm finna wrap this up. All right, we've been going for a considerable amount of time. It's been great. It's been fun. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. You know what I mean? It's a heat wave. I'm finna get outside and get me some air. We will be back on Monday. You know, that might be the last week before I take a few weeks off. Because like I said, I got work to do. I got work. I have, you know, I've been working already, but I got to finish this work. You know what I mean? Because I need to roll out some solutions before, you know, shit gets real drastic out here. All right. So look towards that. All right. So with that being said, love and light, peace to the family. Questions, comments, and concerns, the email is right here. Cash App, make sure y'all leave a tip for anybody that sent the Cash App. Thank you. I was, you know, flowing and whatnot, so I wasn't able to say your name. But for all of the supporters, you are appreciated. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all stay woke, stay dangerous. No, don't stay woke, stay dangerous. You know what I'm talking about? And stay aware. And like I say, stay out of the way. Stay out of the way. It's not your job to try to convert anybody at this point in the game. It's not your job. It's a foul on the play, my nigga, if you're out on the field trying to turn people around from their destiny. You know what I mean? Yeah, stay ghosting. Stay off the grid. Stay out of the way, my nigga. They ghosting me. They shadow banning me. And I'm like, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. You did me a favor, nigga. You know what I mean? You're doing me a favor. Thank you for making me incognito so I can move around this shit the way that I want to. But yeah, y'all stay up. All right? Peace and love.